Welcome to the Radiant Life Podcast. I am your host, Tatiana Couto, and I am a master mindset coach, and I'm obsessed with empowering you to live and create your best life possible. If you're looking to uplevel your mindset, life, happiness, and success, then you're in the right place. My goal with this podcast is to help you see the potential within yourself, to be able to break the limiting beliefs and habits that are holding you back, and to help you feel inspired to get clear with who you are in order to create the life you desire. Thank you so much for listening. Now let's get into today's episode. Hello, and welcome to the Radiant Life Podcast. I am so excited to have you tuning in today. Before we jump into today's episode, I wanted to share a special announcement with you. So it's been about a year since I have created and launched Embrace Your Radiance, which is my signature one-on-one coaching program. And throughout this year, I have been able to work with so many amazing women who have absolutely taken control of their lives, physically, mentally, and spiritually. But throughout this year, I also have noticed that there was a need and there was a gap, which was a place for women who desired to learn more about themselves, desired to learn more than my free 10-day workshops that I host and my content, but are not ready for my one-on-one program. With that said, I am excited to bridge this gap and announce Embrace Your Radiance group coaching program. This group is going to be the intermediate, the in-between my free 10-day workshops and my one-on-one coaching program. So this will be for you if you are done feeling unfulfilled and stuck in your life. Whether you desire to quit your 9-to-5 but are not sure what's holding you back or the next steps, or you already are a business owner and are wanting to learn more on how to scale and grow your business, at the end of the day, it all starts with mindset. And this program is a holistic approach. We cover mind, body, and spirit. Maybe you've done my workshops or listened to these podcasts and you're eager to learn more about yourself. If you're feeling unfulfilled and stuck in your current situation, but you know you are made for more, if you are wanting to improve your relationships with yourself, ditch the negative self-talk, let go of what is holding you back, and building a healthy lifestyle. Again, this is a holistic approach, mind, body, spirit. I don't believe in a healthy mind without a healthy body. So you know we're going to be going deep into health and nutrition as well. This is a whole program to help you elevate your life. So if you're wanting to let go of everything that is holding you back unconsciously, and want to become clear with who you truly are and what you truly want in life, and are ready to step into your true power and learn how to manifest the life of your dreams, this program is for you. So if this sounds like something you would excel at, if you're ready for, join us. The first round is starting March 15th, and you can apply using the link below in the show notes, or you can send me a message on Instagram at Tatiana_Couto, or I'll put my email below as well. And from there, I'll go over your application. We'll have a call to go over the details and make sure that this is a good fit for you. Because again, this is a group program. There's going to be a lot of intimate relationships being built with other women in the group and conversations, and I want to make sure this is a great fit for you as well as the other women in the program. So if you're ready to learn more, if you're ready to uplevel your life and step into your true power, let's do this. Go ahead, join the women who have already signed up by clicking the link in my bio to apply, and let's get you started on embracing your radiance and owning your truth worth, because you deserve all of what your heart's desires. I'm so excited to see you in the group, and now let's get into today's episode. Hello. Welcome to another episode of the Radiant Life Podcast. I am excited for this episode. We're going to talk about the top 5 mistakes people make when setting either New Year's resolution goals or just goals in general. And it doesn't matter when you're listening to this. This could be in January, February, it could even be in June, in the middle of the year. Still really important to understand, why people fail at accomplishing their goals. What mistakes are they making? And how can we shift this so you can actually create the life you desire by achieving the goals that you've been wanting for so long? I don't know about you, but I, for the longest time, had the same New Year's goals over and over and over again. And if you're listening to me right now, you probably do too, because only about, they say, 8% of people actually reach their New Year's resolution goals. So why is that? Why do 92% of the people give up, fail, don't accomplish their goals? And that's what we're going to talk about today. But for me, for years on years, my New Year's resolution goals was to lose weight year after year, and yet I couldn't do it. And why? So I want to give you at least the top 5 mistakes that I believe, based on my experience and working with clients, why you're not reaching your goals. Maybe you're sitting here, maybe you're like, yes, I've been wanting to lose weight every single year. I've been wanting to, quit my job and start a business, or whatever it may be. Let's talk about it. And it's okay if you haven't reached your goals. It's okay if you have the same goals. Let's figure out how you can reach these goals once and for all and create more goals moving forward. All right. So the first mistake and reason is you either are not being realistic or you have too many goals. So let's break this one into 2 pieces. They're kind of a little bit separate, but whatever. You might have too many. And I actually realized this, honestly, this year I realized this last year for 2020 and the years before that, I tend to write this whole list. And I realize that some of these goals bounce off of one another, which is great and all. These are my intentions. But I really believe it's really ideal to focus on top 3 to 5 goals. What are the top 3 to 5 goals that you can reach that will then trickle down into feeling, being, or even reaching other goals under that? Does that make sense? So focusing even top 3 and you're probably like, oh my goodness, 3 goals? Yes, the 3 biggest goals. Is it making more money so then you can reach the other goals to, create a new business, travel more? You see how those 2 sub goals can lie under being able to create more money, or, losing weight. And then the goals under that is to have more energy, to have better sleep, to feel good and confident in your skin. Those are more, sub goals and intentions. So thinking on 3 goals and having each goal be in a separate area of your life, even, maybe one is career, finance, relationships, personal development, fun and activities, getting, having them be top 3 to 5, not too many, so you're not feeling too overwhelmed. There's so many times where people look on their list, last week of December, and they're like, wow, I had 40 goals, and I only reached 10 of them. Why? Because maybe you felt too overwhelmed, or they weren't realistic. So again, going into being realistic here when it comes to time frame, but when it also comes to a goal. Maybe you're starting a business. Is it realistic to say I'm going to have a $500,000, $1 million business in your first year? It's possible, but is it realistic? Do you feel like you can actually do that? Or is that just, I'm all for shooting for the stars, but let's be a little realistic here so you don't feel disappointed in yourself after, right? You want to keep the momentum going, and you don't want to lowball yourself, but you want to be realistic. Maybe for your first year in business, you earn $50,000, or you realistically lose 20 pounds in 6 months versus 20 pounds in 2 months. You know what I mean? Being more realistic, because then what happens? If you set too large of a goal, too much of an unrealistic goal, you then will feel disappointed. You'll experience self-doubt because, again, they were unrealistic. So you were setting yourself up, unfortunately, for failure to begin with. Okay? Number 1 goal, there's too many and they're not realistic. First mistake. The second mistake is that you are not being specific enough. And now, I don't know if you guys are interested in the human design realm. I am so interested in it, and it's based on your birth date and whatever. And I'll have someone on the podcast here to interview to give you more information on human design, because it's so interesting. But there is a difference. Some people need to be really specific, some people don't. But either way, I truly believe you need to be specific enough. So what do I mean by that? Maybe one of your goals has been, or is this year, is I want to lose weight. Just that, lose weight. Well, how much weight? Right? So maybe become more realistic. So I want to become healthier by losing 15 pounds so I can feel more energy and I can have better sleep, right? getting specific, or I want to make a specific amount of money, dollars in my business, or I want to travel more. Okay, travel more. What does that mean? You want to travel once a month? You want to travel once a year? You want to travel to 3 places, 5 places? Like, get specific with yourself here. And if you don't know, well, here you are. Now get specific. What is it that you want? And get specific on it. Remember, we can't achieve goals if we're not specific, because then how will you know if you'll reach them? Okay, you lost weight. Well, you lost 2 pounds. Is that the weight you wanted to lose? Or you're like, no, I actually wanted to lose like 20 pounds. Well, then be specific and say that, right? So get specific on your goals. Ooh, I love this next one. One of the top biggest mistakes I've encountered, my clients have encountered, I notice a lot of people encountering, is you do not have a why, or a strong enough why, to reaching your goal. So what do I mean by that? Okay, so you want to lose weight. Why? What will that do for you? Well, I don't know. I just want to feel better. Why? Well, because, I'm not feeling confident in my skin. Okay, why? Like, ask yourself, why is this important? Like 5 to 7 times if you have to. A deep enough why for losing weight is, you know what? I want to lose weight because I'm uncomfortable in my skin and I don't even want to have sex with my partner. Like, ooh, that stings. That stings. That's a deep enough why. And that will give you enough like momentum and enough like, oof, to like go and get that goal and reach it, right? Instead of like, I just want to lose weight so I can look better. Like, no, get a deep enough why. Why I wanted to quit corporate, why I wanted to create a business was because I wanted the freedom. I wanted to make an impact. I wanted to live life on my own terms, be able to give back, travel when I wanted, be when I wanted. Like, I had a why, right? You want to have a big enough why. So I have a few questions here for you to answer. Write them down or answer them in your head if you're writing them down, like writing your goals down. But like, why is this goal important for you? Why do I want this goal in my life? And ask yourself some of these questions of repeat yourself. Like, why is this important? Okay, now why is that important? And ask yourself so you can get deeper to the underlying issue. Sometimes, and this might come up and it's okay, you might want to lose weight, but realistically, it's you want to feel loved. That's the underlying issue. So then how can you give yourself that love, from yourself, first from yourself and then from others, right? It can really bring up some not issues, but some deeper rooted meanings as to actually why you really want that love. Maybe you're missing it from your partner, or you didn't receive it from, growing up, whatever it may be. Like, that's a deep one, right? A few other questions you can ask yourself is, who am I doing this for? This is actually really important when you realize, like, why do I want this? Why is this important for me? Like, are you doing this for you, or are you doing this because you feel like you have to? Do you feel like you have the opinions of others or others' influence on you? Social media, family, society. Who are you doing this for? For me, I've done plenty of things for other people based on societal norms, trying to please others. Make sure that these goals are for you and what you want. A few other questions is, how will you feel inside if you reach this goal? What will happen? How will you feel if you don't reach this goal? And again, what will happen? Will you continue, to live unhealthy, not, be a good role model? Will you continue to cry to work every single day? Will you continue, whatever it is, what's going to happen if you reach this goal? What's going to happen if you didn't? How are you going to feel? And then how will your life be different if you reach this? And like, close your eyes here. Think about it. If you reach this goal, how are you going to feel? How are you going to show up as? What is this going to do for you, your family? How will it affect you? Get clear. Feel it, see it, hear it. So then you can actually understand, like, okay, if I reach this goal, this is what's going to happen. And oh my God, yes, I'm so motivated to put the work in. So third mistake is you don't have a strong enough why. Fourth mistake is that you actually don't believe in yourself, maybe your capability. You don't believe it's possible, and that results into no action. So believing, you don't have to fully believe to take action, but you must believe, right? And you must take action. Or no, I messed it up. You can take action before you can really, really believe that it's attainable. But if you don't believe that this goal can be yours, right? Like you want to quit your job and become a DJ. Well, I challenge you to look around and see how many other people have quit their jobs to become a DJ or to become whatever their heart desires, right? If they can do it, you can do it too, right? Instead of like, why me? Why not you? Why can't you do it? I think you can, right? So making sure you have this belief in yourself, or at least enough to take action. So asking yourself the questions like, why do I believe this goal is doable? Well, because so-and-so did it, so I can do it. It inspires me, that knowing that I can do this too because they did it. A story here, when I quit my corporate job and I moved from Boston to Florida, I looked up, actually it was my first business mentor, it was Amanda Bucci, and I looked up to her and it inspired me. And I was like, you know what? If she can do this, I can do this. She grew up in a small town in Rhode Island and I'm from a small town in Massachusetts. So, okay, related to her. She picked up her belongings and she moved across country to California, to LA. Didn't know where she was going, what she was going to do, how it was going to happen, but she felt called and she knew she had to do it. So that inspired me that if she can do it, I can do it. It worked out for her. It can work out for me, right? Not only that, she got a nursing degree. She was going to do nursing. I believe she didn't end up doing it, but so she ended up, creating her own business, but still, it gave me the inspiration and the proof that if someone can quit their corporate job and start a business and move across country and they can succeed and they're happy in it, then I can do it too. So that's why I believed, right? If she can do it, I can do it. A few other questions you can ask yourself is, if you don't believe or the lack of action is, what resources do you need then to believe or to accomplish this goal, to take the action? Do you need to hire a coach? Do you need to go back to school? Do you need to, get a gym membership? Make sure, you have the tools and resources in place and that they're clear for you to be able to take action. I think a question that's really important I'm just going to throw it in with this section is, how are you going to handle setbacks? Because you can still believe and still understand that you may have setbacks. So how are you going to handle them? Are you going to just let them, fold in the towel, give up? Or are you going to, relook at your goal and your why statement and get back on the train? Are you going to reach out for help if you fall back? Are you going to have an accountability, crew? How are you going to handle these setbacks? Because it's almost inevitable that you will experience some type of setback. If you have weight loss goal, losing weight isn't linear. It's not going to be losing weight every single week. The scale fluctuates, things change. Maybe you had a hiccup for a few days or a week, whatever. How are you going to get back on the bandwagon, right? How are you going to handle it? What will you do? And when it comes to the no action, instead of getting overwhelmed and seeing the overall big goal, break it up into sub goals or little tasks. Break it into daily tasks. So again, if you have a goal to lose weight this year, start slow and let's be specific. Maybe you start off with no soda and I'm going to work out 2 or 3 days a week. Set yourself up, again, be realistic for success. If you haven't worked out in the gym in a year, why are you going to tell yourself you're going to go 5 days a week? That might be a shock. You might not be able to build that habit up, So create little actionable daily tasks so you can get into action. You can build up the momentum and you can go. So again, fourth mistake is, you don't believe and you're not taking action. So how can you believe in yourself? And how can you take this action? And the fifth and final mistake is that you forget what your goals are. Maybe you wrote them down at December 31st and you thought you would remember because they were so important to you, yet they weren't realistic or specific or your why, and you forgot. And maybe you looked on it a couple months later, a couple weeks, maybe even December 31st the next year to be like, oh, okay, what goals did I reach? What goals didn't? And then you're like, oh, I forgot this was a goal. Of course, if you forget, how are you going to know it's a goal and how are you going to accomplish it, right? So write them down. Write them down to see them everywhere. What I do is I have them in my bathroom mirror. I have my goals and I have my why for the goal. So I can see it when I'm brushing my teeth, doing my hair, washing my face, whatever it may be. I see them. I remind myself every single day what my goals are, why they're my goals, why they're so important to me. And it's a great reminder to be like, okay, this is what I got to do today so I can get here because of this, right? See it every day. Put it on your car, put it on at your desk, put it as your screensaver on your phone, on your computer, whatever it may be. Write them down, see them, check in with yourself every week, every month, and do it that way. If you want to, this is a great tip that I like to do. Every single month, at the end of the month, I reflect, right? And then I create top 3 goals for that month. So you have your top 3 major goals for the year, right? Or whatever it may be, even if it's not for the year, top 3 major goals. Okay, what are the little goals you can do each week or each month to get yourself to that overall goal? And write them down, see them. I highly encourage you creating a vision board so you can maybe not only just see the words of your goals, but see the pictures. Because again, your unconscious mind does not know the difference between reality and what you tell it. So if you tell it, you are accomplishing these things and you see it every day. And then again, one little missing key is you want to make sure you feel it. Think about how you're going to feel when you accomplish it. Think about how you will be, what will change. Because that's when that's when manifestation just comes in, right? You attract that to you. But again, hang it everywhere so you don't forget and so you remember what your goals are. And the last final tip I have for you is to write them down as if you've already accomplished them. This is like a law of attraction manifestation tip here, because again, your unconscious mind does not know the difference between what you're telling it and reality. So be like, thank you for your goal, or I've achieved my goal of losing 15 pounds. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Because when you're in a state of gratitude, you're at a higher vibration, you can attract it, it will come to you. Thank you, right? It's already been done because you can do it and it will be yours as long as you get clear and you can believe it and you can feel it, hear it, see it, whatever, feel it, right? So act as if it's been done, as if it's already yours. Embody that person who has already accomplished this goal of losing weight, accomplished the goal of starting her business, accomplished whatever it may be. Embody that so that you can start being it and attracting it, and it's already yours and you're thankful for it instead of I want this. Because then sometimes when you think of like I want this, you're kind of technically you're telling your mind or whatever, like you don't have it already. So let's focus on already having it. Just shift it. Thank you for goal. I have achieved goal. Thank you. Thank you. This is something that has really shifted my perspective lately. The more I learn about the unconscious mind and the power of attraction and manifestation and all of this. And it works. It's how I've gotten to where I've been and how my clients are getting to where they are going or what they've already accomplished. But just to recap here, top 5 mistakes. First one was just not being realistic and having too many goals. Second one is not being specific enough. Third mistake is you don't have a why or a strong enough why attached to it. The fourth one is you don't believe, and that can lead to not taking action on this goal. And the fifth one is that you forget. So hang it everywhere. Remind yourself, get excited about this, and write them as if you've already accomplished them. And those are my 5 top mistakes and then tips in there when it comes to setting and accomplishing goals, New Year's goals, whenever you're listening to this. But I hope these help. I hope this has inspired you and motivated you to get these goals under control. Get excited. Narrow them down from 40 to 5. And that probably takes so much stress and pressure and overwhelm off of you. And go accomplish your goals. All right. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If this was something that you really valued, please, all I ask is that you share this with someone else who may find value in this as well. If you share this on any of your social medias, please tag me at Tatiana_Couto. And thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for tuning in today. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it with me and write an Apple iTunes review so I can keep the good stuff coming your way. If you aren't following me already, you can find me on Instagram at Tatiana_Couto. I appreciate you so much and cannot wait to see you in the next episode. In the meantime, continue to shine bright and embrace your radiance.